Hey guys, it's Gonzo. Today we're going to download and install a modding-openmw.com mod list from start to finish. This video assumes you don't have anything downloaded or installed, and by the end of the guide you'll be playing the game. First, you'll need a copy of Vanilla Morrowind. If you need to buy a copy, you can purchase it from Steam or GOG. I have Morrowind on Steam already, and I'm going to install it to my F drive. We also need to download and install a few other things. Links will be in the description below. We need to download 7-zip from 7zip.org if you don't have it installed already. We also need to download OpenMW itself. We have two options. We can choose the latest release version, 0.48. I'll have a link for this as well in the description below. Or we can choose the latest development build, which enables us to check out the most current updates and features. It's safe to install both if you want to check them out individually. Personally, I use the development build, so this guide will reflect that. Note that if you use the development build, you'll also need to make sure the latest Visual C++ redistributable is installed and up to date as well. Finally, we'll download the momw Tools Pack, which includes the rest of the programs we need. It's important to know which mod list you want to install. If you're new to Morrowind, you may want to stick with iHeart Vanilla, just-good-morrowind, or graphics-overhaul. But if you're a returning veteran and want to go all out, I recommend checking out Expanded Vanilla or total-overhaul instead. In order to install the mod lists, we'll need to give the programs the mod list name. If you're unsure about what the mod list you want to install is named, a list of available mod list names can be found in the video description below. Also, since you're installing these mod lists automatically, you won't fully know what each mod list includes unless you look. Browse the page for your mod list on modding-openmw.com for a full list of the mods your mod list includes. If you have a question pertaining to the content and gameplay in-game, read the FAQ for the answers to the most frequently asked questions before reaching out for further help. Again, you'll find a link in the description below. Let's install the programs we downloaded. Run the 7-zip installer and hit install. Now 7-zip is installed. Next, let's install OpenMW. If you've chosen the stable version 0.48, just click on the installer and follow it to install the program anywhere on your computer. Again, I'm going to use my F drive. If you've chosen the development build, right-click on the zip file, mouse over 7-zip, and open archive. This archive has all the loose files for the development build, so we'll need to make a folder for it. Again, I'm going to use my F drive. I hit Ctrl-A to select all, and then just drag and drop them into the folder I made. Remember that for the development build to work, we also need to install the Visual C++ redistributable. Just open it, agree to the terms, and install. Finally, let's install the momw Tools Pack. Right-click this file, select 7-zip, and open archive. Drag and drop this folder anywhere you'd like. Again, I'm going to use my F drive. After you've extracted it, Shift+Right-click the empty space in the Tools Pack folder to bring up the context menu and select Open Powershell window here. Type /ummo setup and hit enter. Ummo will open your browser window to a Nexus page where it says Ummo would like to access your Nexus Mods account. You must be logged into Nexus in order for this to work. Click Authorize, and you'll get a prompt asking you to close the window and return to Ummo. Next, the program will ask you to paste your Vanilla Morrowind installation path. That is, the folder where morrowind.exe is located. Copy the path, paste it into the PowerShell prompt, and hit enter. Next, it will ask you for the path where you want to install your mod list. This can be anywhere on your computer, but make sure you choose a location where you have file permissions and plenty of empty space. I'm going to make my mods folder on my F drive. At the time of recording this video, total-overhaul requires almost 30 gigabytes of space in your cache directory to store all the mod downloads, and another 60 gigabytes of space for your mods folder once they are all extracted. Next, it will ask you if you want to set a custom directory to store all of your mod downloads. The default is the C drive. I have enough storage space there, so I'm going to leave this blank and use the default location, but if you want to choose somewhere else, just paste that path here. Finally, UMO will ask you some yes or no questions. Answer Y for yes to all of these questions. Once the setup is complete, you should see that 7Z is found, all is good, and there should be no problems with extracting. Close the PowerShell window, navigate back to your Tools folder, and Shift+Right-click the empty space to bring up the context menu again. Select Open Powershell window here once more. This might seem a little unnecessary, but it's absolutely vital that you refresh your PowerShell instance. Type /umo cache sync, and then the mod list name you're installing, so total-overhaul for me. If you run into any issues installing your mod list, consider using the -b flag after the cache sync command to use the updates from the beta version of moddingopenmw.com. UMO will take a little bit of time to prepare the mods for download and installation. Let's just skip past this. Once UMO is finished caching, type /umo install and then the mod list name you're installing. So again, total-overhaul for me. If you want to turn off notifications, use the -n flag after the install command. When you hit enter, UMO will start downloading some mods, and if you're like me and don't have Nexus Premium, it will also pop open browser windows to download each mod. Click Slow Download for each of these windows, and UMO will download and install the mod for you. Repeat this process for the rest of the mods. This will take some time. At the time of recording this video, total-overhaul took almost 3 hours to install for me. Some mods have multiple files to download, and UMO won't begin downloading those mods until you have finished clicking Slow Download for each of its individual files. Put on some music or a good movie, and keep clicking Slow Download. Keep an eye out for any errors that display during downloading and extraction. If you run into any issues, I recommend restarting PowerShell and running /umo reconfig to start the setup process all over again. Once everything is installed, type /momw-configurator config --run-navmeshtool -v and then the mod list name you've installed. So once again, total-overhaul for me. If you use the -b flag during the cache sync command for UMO, use that here as well. Also, if you've chosen the development build of OpenMW, use the -d flag here. Hit enter, and the configurator will ask you about the location of some programs it needs to use. Most of these programs come with the Tools Pack, but the INI importer and navmeshtool come with OpenMW. Just copy and paste each path here, up to and including the .exe. I'll let you watch me do it here. Just copy more or less what I'm doing here. Find the folder the tool is in. Copy the folder path, and then finish the folder path here with the executable. and then just repeat this process for all the programs that it's looking for. It will also ask you for the morrowind.ini file, which is located in your Morrowind folder. Paste that path here up to and including the .ini. Finally, it will ask you for the folder you installed your Modlist to. Make sure you're using the base folder, which is f:/mods for me, and do not include the Modlist name itself. Once you complete the setup, the momw-configurator will take some time to finish setting up your Modlist. Depending on your hardware, this can take quite a lot of time. Most of this time is taken up by running the navmeshtool, and you only need to run that tool once per Modlist install. Eventually, you'll get a message that the momw-configurator completed for your Modlist. Now, navigate to your OpenMW install folder and open the OpenMW launcher. It's going to take a little bit of time to open because we have so many mods installed for total-overhaul. You'll notice many content files will be unchecked, and some will have errors on them. Just ignore this and move on. The configurator enabled all the plugins you need and in the correct load order. Browse through the various settings, and once you're finished, launch OpenMW to test some things out. Some options are in-game too, including the Scripts tab, which contains many options for mods you have installed. If you run into any issues, feel free to pop into the official OpenMW server on either Discord or IRC, where the moddingopenmw.com team has their own dedicated channel. Again, the FAQ also has the answers to the most frequently asked questions, and the links for all of these will be available in the description below. Thanks for watching, and enjoy playing modded OpenMW.
Get your dirty hands off that platter.